FM24 is out now. And once again, Tony Martinez is on my list as a must-buy player. And although I put a cap on my list of around about £10 million, I found some players I think you're really going to enjoy for like less than £1 million. And I would say they could probably still do a job in the Premier League. But that's just my opinion. If you make them work in the Premier League, fair play to you. If you disagree with me, then I don't know what to say. Like, you can't tell me Alejandro Zendejas cannot do a job in the Premier League. And yet, 3,000 to 28k is his valuation. Now, has he just joined? No, which means you can actually try and sign him. And yes, just 28k. It is absolutely baffling to me, and he'd gain a work permit if you're wanting to bring him to England, so you can probably pick him up in a high-level championship club. He plays in centre mid, he plays on the left, he can play on the right. You know what my dad's going to be saying about him? He's a fantastic squad player. You already know he's wrote him down in his book twice. He's a fantastic young midfielder. He's only 25. He's an international for the USA. He's got great passing ability. He's got fantastic vision off the ball. Attacking wise, he's a threat for sure. I wouldn't exactly put him in like a ball winner role, obviously, let's not be stupid, but as your creative midfielder, he can definitely do a job for you. And he's going to cost you less than 30k. That's ridiculous. Hold your horses though, because we're staying in Mexico, because that guy is not even the best midfielder at the club. And again, you're probably not even going to spend £1 million to bring this dude in as well. Because Alvaro Fidalgo is an exceptional attacking midfielder, even better on the ball than the last player we featured in this role, and doesn't exactly have a weakness either. One thing's for sure is his weakness is certainly not going to break your bank balance, because again, £1.4 million, you can probably bend that to a cheaper cost. They just accepted 500k. Just 500k. That's two players for like 540k. That can transform your midfield. Unbelievable value. I mean, if you're not loading the players that play in Mexico, you're just missing out on just value as far as I'm concerned, because here we have a centre-back this time round, Juan Escobar. He's Paraguayan, 28 years of age, still got time. Centre-back, can also play right-back quite well, might I add. And you look at him, you think, alright, maybe he won't be starting for a Premier League side, but he can certainly do a job for you in rotation to give your first teamer a rest. And again, 210k is his higher value. Like, what is this? How are we finding just some unbelievable players straight off the bat? Straight away, he's going on my shortlist as one of the pickups that I need to pick up almost every save. Speaking of pickup, if you haven't got Football Manager 2024 yet, you can now do so and play the beta just like I am using my link at the top of the description. It'll take you to a website. You use code OMEGA, you get a nice little discount as well, and I get a bit of a kickback from that. So you support me as a content creator, and we are already good friends. It emails you a link, you can put it into Epic, you can put it into Steam, and play the game straight away. Thank you very much if you've already done so. Thank you if you're going to. Because you're going to be wanting to play FM24 to see what you can do with Bjørn Finn. Now, he's Norwegian. As a striker, I feel sorry for him. He's not going to get in front of Erling Haaland, but he can get into your team if you decide to pick him up. You have to make sure you're loading the Norwegian league, because he plays for Brann in that Norwegian league, so make sure you've either got the players loaded or the players from those clubs loaded, and I think he'll be worth it. He's roughly valued about £2.5 million. That's definitely worth it. 16 for finishing, good free kick taking, he's got great composure, good off the ball. What's there more to like? How about a low-cost CDM with the best name in football? Okay, let's have a look. This is Bonke Innocent. I know, great name. But if you're looking for a £5 million or less CDM, then this is your guy. As you can see, only valued up to a 3.5, so you might even get him a lot cheaper than that. And what you're getting for that value for a 27-year-old CDM is unbelievable, because I know he's not like N'Golo Kante as like a ball winner, but he's still decent. 14 for tackling, he has good stamina and good natural fitness, decent enough pace. The mentals I actually quite like. There's a lot of 14s in there, that determination, the good work rate. I don't really know what more you expect for a player that much. Well, that doesn't cost that much at all. I think he's phenomenal. Good fullbacks are always tricky to find, but I've got your back. I think I've got one for each side. That's really good value. So let's take a look. We've already seen that there's quite a lot of value in like Denmark and Norway and these sort of countries in Scandinavia where, you know, the value of players aren't that high. And this player is exactly the same. He's 25 years of age. He's Danish. He's only up to 1.3 million. He's only on £1,000 a week. And his contract was 2021. So he will be willing to leave. And yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, he's bloody good, isn't he? For a left-sided player, if you need a backup left-back, or you're really desperate, like Manchester United, who need a left-back right now, this is your man. A lot of 14s, there's nothing that like stands out, but there's no weaknesses whatsoever. You can even play him in the wing-back role quite comfortably. If you need a left winger, you can also do that too. Martin Fressy. He's really good. I'm feeling kind today. I'm going to give you two right backs because I can't decide which one's good and I want to see whether this one gets a work permit or not. But Emmanuel Coronel at Banfield in Argentina is a very good right back for the value of up to £4.7 million. If you've got £5 million, you need a backup right back, etc. He's on a cheap wage. He's very good going forward, gets forward whenever possible, tries tricks, hugs the line. So he's like a very good winger style of a fullback. Because he has great natural fitness and stamina, he can get up and get back and help you out. And his defensive duties, he's still really good, to be fair, with that tackling of a 13 and dribbling 13, crossings 12 as well. So he can definitely do a job. It's just whether he gets a work permit in this country, and he does. So he can go to the UK and gain a work permit, which is good. I think we struggled with things like that last year. There weren't a lot of options. But the second option, I think, is even cheaper. We got Lucas here at Real Oviedo. There's no point typing in Lucas. You'll have thousands. You have to go to Real Oviedo in the Spanish second division to have that option. Now, he's 28. He's Spanish. He can play on both sides as well because he's not actually bad with either foot. As you can see, his preferred foot is right, but he can play on the left. And that inverted wing-back or inverted full-back, of course, the new role. I think he's going to be really good for it. Again, he has decent attributes. It's not like, oh my god, we found the best player ever. But these are cheap options. It's £4.7 million. Yes, he's 28, but it's just a squad player option, right? This is what I like about these players. Yes, I'll find some kind of work like wonder kids, etc. in and down the line. But for now, I'm looking at must-buy players, and this guy's going on the list because, alright, he might be asking for high wages. But that is because I'm at Man United. If I'm not at Man United, he might be asking for a lot less. And let's be fair, if Man United was coming to you, you would try and rip them off because they fall for it every time. German goalkeepers are always good, and my dad thinks so anyway. But, I mean, the history speaks for itself, I guess. And Marco Hiller, it looks like Hiller, from 1860 Munich, is a very good goalkeeper. 26 years of age, £1.3 million. I mean, he's decent too. I'm not just saying it like, oh yeah, he's amazing. You look and go, come on, Luke. Like, he has the reflexes. He has 13 handling. Good aerial reach because he's 6'2 as well. Positioning of 14. Agility of 12. We'd like to see it a little bit higher. I'm not bringing out like an Edison or an Allison by all means. Like, he's just decent. But he's only going to cost you £1.3 million. So if you're like my dad and you're one of these people who you see your backup goalkeeper and you go, I'm going to sell him. And then you're like, oh, I ain't got backup goalkeeper. You can go for Marco instead because, again, £1.4 million, gets a work permit, decent wages. Oh, come on, it's too easy. Now, in the new Football Manager, you've got the late bloomers, right? So, like the Jamie Vardy, they're going to implement that into the game. So, I think it's quite exciting that there are so many really good players in the second divisions of different nations. And Nicolas Pierini at Venezia, not known obviously to have the best players in Italy, he is really good. Like £3 million. Like, he's alright. Like, there's a lot of 14s and 13s, like 14 for finishing, for example. He's got the 15 flair, so he's going to be good tricky on the wing. He plays on both wings, but naturally, he's really good on the left-hand side because he's right-footed, so he cuts in, so as like an inside winger or an inverted winger, inside forward, and a striker. Like, he's actually alright too. Decent amount of pace. He's only 24 at Venezia, and again, £3 million maximum, £3.2 million they're saying here, would be successful in obtaining a work permit. Only asking for high wages, maybe because of the club I'm at. He's 24, like, This is really good. All right, I'll give you one more. And that man is Benjamin Rollheiser. Fantastic name once again, it must be said. He plays across the front three. I think his best position is that AMR position because he is left-footed and he's quite good at dribbling, good agility. So again, for that inside forward or inverted winger, because I mean, like the last guy, decent finishing and good composure. So if you were to play him as an inside forward on attack, he kind of suits like that role quite well. The only weakness we can see from all the highlighted attributes is the anticipation at 11, and I'd argue that that's more for the striking type of thing. So as the winger, I think he's got what he needs to have. Like, likes to switch the ball as well, which I think is quite good. He's only 23. He's in Argentina as well. He's been there for a while, so I mean, like playing for a while, and he would gain a work permit. Maximum is going to cost you is £6 million. So really, I've only given you one player that's actually going to cost you more than £5 million. I think this is a really successful little shortlist that you can put together, and there's a player for every position. So if you can do me a favor and smash the subscribe button if you haven't done so, we're on our way to 100k, and I really want to put a plaque up behind me. And Monday, we've got the first rebuild coming out. We're taking over Chelsea with the real world game mode, so we're going to do all the transfers and do it properly instead of whatever Pochettino bought this summer.